Welcome back. I am attorney Nicholas Hicks. Uh, we're going to begin today with our criminal justice or criminal law series. I expect there's going to be quite a few parts of this because it's pretty detailed. Uh, to begin with, my disclaimer, this is intended to be legal information only. It is not intended to be legal advice. You should contact your attorney licensed to practice in New York State so that they can advise you as to how the law may apply to your particular circumstances. So, today we begin with criminal law. And this is probably one of the most discussed areas of law. It's popular with respect to Hollywood movies and books and television series. And a lot of times, because it's so popular, there's a lot of bad information that the public receives for the purposes of the drama. And you have these shows that people actually take away sometime an idea that they understand what their rights are. But it's important to understand that that's drama, that's entertainment only, and you should discuss that with an attorney. Now, to begin with, obviously, the majority of people come into the criminal justice system through an arrest, right? Often in a traffic stop. Sometimes there's a warrant for your arrest outstanding. So here's the first thing to understand if you're arrested, okay? People talk about things like being able to make phone calls. There is an app, and I have no connection to this app at all. I actually have it on my phone. It's called I'm Getting Arrested. It's a red square with hands and handcuffs. I would suggest that everybody out there download that app. It's a great app. I have it on my phone. It pre-programs. You can put cell phone numbers to your relatives, lawyers, friends, whomever, and you can have a message, a pre-recorded message that's written there, and it's a big bullseye sign when you pull it up. All you have to do, if you think you're about to be arrested, you hit that app, and your message automatically goes to all of those phone numbers, so that people know, who care about you, that you are getting arrested and that you may be going to jail. That's better than any phone call, if you ask me. So it's called I'm Getting Arrested. I have the app. I think it's phenomenal. It's simple to use, and I suggest that you take a look at that. It's free of charge. You download it to your Apple phone, your Android. I think it's also Windows compatible. Now, so you've gotten arrested. The first thing that I would tell anybody is please do not talk to the police. The only information you should be giving police is pedigree information, which is to say your name, and it's important because if you give a false name, that's an additional charge of impersonation. That's a whole other charge you're going to have. Give them your name, social security number, address, identifying information only. You should not discuss anything else. Now, most of us have heard that, we know that, but in that moment when you're afraid or you're under that stress, people forget that. And police officers, especially trained detectives, are trained in the art of interrogation, which means that they have learned to play on your emotions and your fear to get you to open up to talk to them. And what's your biggest fear? And what's your biggest desire at the moment that you're arrested? Your biggest desire is, I don't want to be arrested, right? I want to go home. Being arrested was not on your agenda today. You just want to go home. They know that that's what you want. So they often will take advantage of that, especially if they're still in the process of investigating a crime. Or maybe they probably have concluded that it's you, but if they can get you to give a confession, that strengthens that case all the more. Most defense attorneys, myself included, will tell you that if we could have won so many more cases for our clients had they just not opened their mouth. You are not going to talk your way out of an arrest. You must understand that. If they've come to arrest you, you are getting arrested. There's nothing that you're going to say that's going to talk yourself out of that. They've already come to that conclusion. On the other hand, If they say to you, we just want to talk to you, we just want to take you downtown and talk to you, maybe that's the case. Maybe they haven't made up their mind yet to arrest you. Maybe they don't have that missing piece. Well, why are they taking you down to talk to you then? They'll tell you, well, we just want to get your side of the story. Well, that's not really what they want. They want to see if you will confess or make certain admissions to fill in the blank. And what you have to understand is you don't know what they know already. Even if you committed the crime and you know really why they want to talk to you, or you have no clue why they want to talk to you, even an honest answer on your part may have a different ramification than you expected. If they say, well, what were you wearing Tuesday? And you say, Tuesday, well, Tuesday was yesterday. I remember I had a blue t-shirt on and I had blue jeans. Well, that's an innocent enough sounding answer, except you don't know that they have a description of somebody who committed a horrible offense yesterday in that neighborhood who was wearing exactly what you just identified yourself as wearing. You have no idea, but what you just did was fill in the missing part for them. Now you're perhaps being charged with a crime you actually did not commit. It happens to people every single day. Please keep your mouth closed. Do not try to help yourself. You won't help yourself, because either they've made up their mind already to arrest you. If they have, you're going to jail. Or they're looking for a missing piece or pieces, which you may give them unwittingly because you think that you're just giving innocent answers, which in your mind might be innocent answers. Keep your mouth closed. What should you say when you're being arrested, or more importantly, when you're being questioned? Now, people will say, Mr. Hicks, they arrested me, they didn't read me my rights, so Miranda warnings. Well, the law says you're not entitled to Miranda warnings unless they're going to question you. If they're not going to question you, they don't have to read you your rights, your Miranda warnings. You've all heard it. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say may be used against you. So, I mean, as you know, these things do not have to be said to you unless they're going to question you. And since almost all of you know you have that right, whether they read it to you or not, you know you have that right. Exercise it. In fact, the only thing that you should be saying if they're questioning you is, I want a lawyer. You should say, I want a lawyer to every single question they ask you outside of who you are, where you live, your social security number. Where were you Tuesday? I want a lawyer. What kind of car do you drive? I want a lawyer. Do you know someone named Joe Smith? I want a lawyer. You should say you want a lawyer until you are blue in the face. Not that they're going to necessarily provide you one that night, but just saying you want a lawyer multiple times will have certain built-in protections just because you ask for it over and over and over again. That's what you should know about what you should be saying. Identifying information only, and I want a lawyer. I don't want to talk to you. I want a lawyer. I don't care what's said to you. I want a lawyer. Okay, now, you've been arrested. The law says you have to be arraigned. They have to bring you in front of a court in 24 hours. This is called the arraignment. This is where the court will tell you what you are being accused of and what your rights are. Now, hopefully, if you have that app that I talked about, I'm getting arrested, hopefully your friends, family, maybe lawyers already know that you're arrested, and maybe somebody's showing up for you that morning. It's important. And now, in addition to the court telling you what your rights are, including your right to an attorney if you can't afford one, they will also deal with the issue of bail. Now, the primary purpose of bail is to ensure that a defendant, which is now what you're being labeled as, returns to court. Depending on and they look at a number of things: your criminal history, if you have one, the seriousness of the crime, what the alleged crime, your roots in the community, how long have you lived here, are you just visiting, do you own a home, do you have a job and family, because all this goes to the question of what is the likelihood that you're going to return to court, or you might run if you don't have many ties. So they look at all of that. Of course, if you can bail out, in most cases you're going to want to, for a number of reasons, because there are certain dangers in being in jail, not just because it's a dangerous place to be, but you have other people who are looking to perhaps lie on you and say that you admitted things to them so they can make themselves a deal to put themselves in a better position. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in jail. And of course, if you're out of jail, you can be of much more greater assistance to your lawyer in preparing your defense. Now, when you return to court, it's important to dress a certain way. And I've said this to many of my clients. I don't care how you dress when you're on the street. You want to come to court looking a certain kind of way. Suit and ties are nice, but if you just have a suit jacket, gentlemen, or just a shirt with a collar, a dark shirt with a collar, dark pants, dark shoes, or dark sneakers, that's a lot more appropriate than t-shirts that say things on it, or your pants hanging off your behind, because now you look like a typical defendant to that judge, and it could impact how you're seen. Ladies, same thing. You want to tone down the hairstyle. You want to tone down the color. You want to tone down, you want to dress appropriate. Dress like you're going on a job interview, not like you're going to a nightclub. You want to, dark clothes, conservative clothes. You don't have to go clothes shopping necessarily, but you just want to dress like you're going to an office interview or a job interview, because how you're seen is very important, because in all likelihood this court doesn't know you, and people make judgment calls about what you look like. So that's important. Okay, so we're going to come back next time. We're going to talk about so much more, but I just wanted to cover today the arrest, the arraignment, and how you should appear in court for all future court dates. Thank you for joining me. I'm Attorney Nicholas Hicks. Please check out our page, our channel on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, take care.